In episode 2, when Daniel heads to the dojo that day, he finds Johnny already there, but the fight quickly starts. Daniel tells Johnny, "It looks like our students want us to work together, so we gotta find some level of respect here." Johnny says respect is a two-way street. So they agree to try and see the other side. Daniel is going to teach Johnny Miyagi-Do, and Johnny is going to teach Daniel Eagle Fang Karate. Miyagi-Do is going to go first. Johnny starts painting a wall, but he gets bored with it real easily. Doesn't take long before he quits, and he tells Daniel, defense is boring. Offense is always going to be more badass. But Daniel points out, while Miyagi-Do might seem boring, it saved him a few times. And when Johnny thinks about it, he's right. Mr. Miyagi's boring karate did come up clutch more than once in his life. So he walks back over, picks up the paintbrush, and continues to go back and forth. Waxing on, waxing off, trying to find balance. Johnny gives it his best effort, but at the end of the day, he still doesn't really buy in. And he tells Daniel, tomorrow, you're going to learn Eagle Fang Karate. Now, while Daniel was teaching Johnny a lesson, Amanda was trying to teach Tori a lesson. She actually found out where Tori worked and went and visited her, telling her to stay away from Sam. Conversation gets pretty contentious. Tori's boss actually comes over, and when Tori snaps at one of the customers, she gets fired. It wasn't what Amanda was setting out to do, but she's not crying about it. After work, Tori ends up going to the dojo where Robbie is teaching them Miyagi-Do karate. But Tori has an edge about her, more so than usual. Kreese notices and pulls her in the office and says, "What's going on with you? Is it something with your mom?" And she tells him, "I lost my job." He gets the full story from Tori, but does tell her, "You can't sit here and feel sorry for yourself." But just because Kreese told Tori not to feel bad for herself doesn't mean he's not going to stick up for her. He tracks down Amanda in a Whole Foods, right between the cheese and the apples. She tells Kreese, "I know about the deal you made with my husband and Johnny, but I'm telling you right now, I will make sure you lose that tournament." And he asks her, "Is that why you're sabotaging my students?" You know, I respect you defending your daughter. I think that's what all mothers should do, but unfortunately, Tori doesn't have that luxury. Tori has to pay the bills and put food on the table. Amanda had no idea about this and immediately feels really bad about what happened. She tries to fix it by buying Tori groceries and dropping them off on her front step. But as she's at LaRusso Auto, Tori busts in with the bag of groceries, throws them on the ground, and says, "You think this makes up for it? I don't need your sympathy. I feed my family." Amanda says, "Tori, I just want all this to be over." And Tori says, "Don't worry. It will be. When I humiliate your daughter at the All Valley in front of everybody. Thanks for lighting a fire under me. I needed that." Then she storms out. And speaking of the All Valley, the former champ, Daniel LaRusso, well, it's his turn to learn a different style. This time it's the man's karate, Eagle Fang. They go to an abandoned warehouse, and Johnny works Daniel to the bone. Later that night, Johnny takes him to a hockey game, and he figures he's just hanging out, guys being dudes. But no, Johnny's showing him the physicality of the sport. He then picks a fight on Daniel's behalf with the hockey team. And when it comes time to actually throw down, Johnny's nowhere to be found. It forces Daniel to actually strike first, and he wipes the floor with these guys. But most of the episode has to do with a new kid in town. His name's Kenny. He's having to join the middle school during the year, which is never easy. And the first impression he gives the other kids isn't a great one. When the bus rolls up, he's dancing like a fool, and all the kids are laughing at him. He does shine, however, in gym class, but it's at the expense of Anthony LaRusso. And Anthony's kind of fallen in with the bullies a little bit. Anthony only stops with the threats when his crush, a girl named Leah, comes up, tells Anthony, "Give the new kid a break," and then compliments Kenny on his shirt. The shirt's for a video game. So Anthony backs off, but Kenny did not have the best first day. He gets a phone call from his dad, who is serving in the army in Saudi Arabia, asking about how the first day went. Kenny doesn't tell him how bad it went, but you can tell his mood is down. His dad says to him, "Your mom needs you now. She's had a tough time after everything that happened to your brother." And his brother is in juvenile detention. Before his dad hangs up, he reminds Kenny that he's the man of the house now, and then he tells him he loves him. That night, Kenny hops on his favorite game, Dungeon Lord, starts playing it, when he gets a friend request from Leah. He's pumped, because Leah's adorable, and they play all night. She starts asking him questions, he's answering them. It seems like he's forming a little bit of a crush, but he's completely unaware that it's not Leah on the other side. It's Anthony and his little douche crew. When they ask Kenny what he likes to do for fun, and he reveals that he does cosplay, they convince Kenny the next night to show up in the park dressed as this squirrel professor character. Which, by the way, is worth mentioning, Anthony is completely aware of who all these characters are. He's as big of a nerd as any of them, although he doesn't want to show it. So that night, Kenny heads out to the park, thinking that he's going to meet with Leah, when Anthony and his buddies pop out from behind a bush and start filming him, laughing at him at his expense. When he sees that Anthony's filming him, he knocks his phone out of his hand and it breaks. And that's when Anthony and his friends grab him. They want Anthony to punch him in the face, but Anthony doesn't want to do it. They all think that Anthony is this karate whiz because of his dad, but in reality, he doesn't know how to do karate. He never got into it. He's just never dispelled that myth. Before Anthony actually has to hit Kenny, Kenny is able to squirm his way out and run away. Kenny's first 2 days have been rough. He needs some guidance, so he goes and visits his brother. And his brother, it turns out, is Sean, a kid that Robbie was enemies with at first, but eventually became friends with. And Sean tells Kenny, go visit Robbie Keene. He'll help you out. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought this sucked. Make sure to be nice in the comment section. If you don't see the next video up in the end screen there, I'll get it up in a few days, not to worry. And I have merchandise, so go buy a mug or something. It's never too early to think about Christmas gifts, folks. Once again, thank you for checking out this recap.